Welcome to Tech Attack, the show on Zoom and TV in which we dive into the world of gadgets and technology. My name is TamTu, and today we're going to talk about wearable technology for your wrists. My co-host here, Vincent, is our trend watcher, and he's going to tell us all about it. So, Vincent, tell me, what do you have for me?
Well, wearables is just at the beginning. We ain't seen nothing yet, and these are just some of the first gadgets you can see. It all started with the step counter. There's a crowd which basically wants to be healthy, and you basically had the first one was the Fitbit. And if you didn't do 20,000 steps on a day, you were in big trouble and you were not healthy enough. The Quantified Self group started with that. Okay. And they also did the altitude you were on. So very few things were measured, but they were immediately connected to the computer, and you could see with graphs how fast you were running and when you were active. That was the first one. Then came the first watch, and that is the Pebble. The Pebble was special because of two reasons. First, the screen is an e-paper screen, and it looks very great. It looks great in sunlight, and the battery life is fantastic because
about how many days?
3-4 days easily.
Oh, nice.
3-4 days easily. Yeah, it's not your average smartphone kind of thing.
Okay.
And the Pebble was special also because it was on Kickstarter, and the guys wanted to raise some money to make a product, and they had a goal of $100,000.
Okay, so how much did they end up making?
Well, it was the biggest campaign ever, and they raised $10 million.
What?
You know, and it was all over the place, and everybody also knew the Pebble because of that fundraising. You know, if you go to a VC and you basically have a good talk, you get 10 million. Nobody knows about it, but then everybody talked about it. But when it came out, a lot of people really loved it. It's a little plasticky. You know, this.
That's it?
Yeah. It's a little plasticky and
Kickstarter edition.
Kickstarter edition, yeah. So this is the real thing.
The real deal.
350,000 people bought it online before they ever touched the product. So this was a real special watch in how it was financed and also the product. What can you do with it? You connect it to your phone, and it's basically an extension of your phone. So next to that, the time you can watch, you basically see your WhatsApp message, your email message, your Twitter message. But there's also all kinds of apps on there which you can use to control things. So of course your phone going to the next song, the previous song. You can go, the volume can go up and less, which is handy if you're in the car or if it's in your docking station. And another one which is really handy is Yelp. So if you walk around, you can basically see the restaurants around you and basically see if what the review is.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good to have.
Yeah.
All right.
App Store, funded by the crowds, and people are very happy. There's a new one which looks much nicer and has an iron wristband.
Oh,
and,
so it's much fancier than this one.
Yeah. So.
But this one was the pioneer.
This will be going into history. It's not Samsung, it's not Apple, it's not anybody. It was just a bunch of guys who started it. And
but it is compatible with both Android and iOS systems.
Yes. Then came a bunch of other ones. And of course, Samsung always comes first. And they came with an extremely ugly, the Gear 1. Unbelievable thick. Bad battery life. Slow, and a real version 1.0. But the screen is very bright. You can see it's not like an e-paper kind of screen, but it's bright, and it's touch, so you can basically you can go in. And this is now the Gear 2, which is a lot better. The battery life is a lot better. It has still this step counter. You can still have that. I'm doing a really bad job today. 4,500 steps. I'm not anywhere near. So you can do that. And this one also has a, if you put it around your wrist, then I can measure my heartbeat. See, there's apps. There's apps here.
And do these apps come from the Android store?
Well,
or is this
there's a special Gear 2 store, which basically you can apply
so it's
to
independently for this system.
Yeah, TamTu also made a Smartwatch, which if you run, it really measures your heartbeat all the time, makes nice graphs, and really works. Then Sony is also has a number of versions made, and they are elegant. They look good, have a good battery life, and but we're all watching for the phone, the watch which isn't there.
And which one would that be?
That it would be the iWatch from Apple,
iWatch.
because I mean that was announced. When Steve Jobs died, everybody was thinking, that's 4 years ago. Everybody was thinking he's coming with the iWatch, and they're still waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting.
So me
when
as
it
an
comes
iPhone
out,
user, I don't have a Apple specific wearable yet.
and I wouldn't wait for it. So,
All right.
but I find it very useful not to use my phone, not to get my phone out of my pocket. The average person, worldwide now takes this phone 150 times out of your pocket a day.
Really?
150 times, and a lot of times it's for very, it's for to look at a message or you feel it vibrating, and this is of course very useful for your phone, and to do heartbeats and to to control things from a distance is really handy. So
Right.
I think this will develop. This will be, you'll see an incredible acceleration.
Right. So we have these things now. Looking further into the future, like I play a lot of video games, and there's this one in particular, Mass Effect, and they have this holographic display. How much longer until we get there before they combine all the technology into a wearable technology?
Well, we'll have to wait a couple of shows before we are into this beautiful display kind of thing, and especially also to get into your body, so that we know much more than the heartbeat, and that kind of stuff will improve. And some of those watches will be standalone, and most of them will be connected to your smartphone. There's one actually, a Dutch phone maker. It's called the Berg phone, and that one has a SIM card built in, so you can basically make phone calls without connecting it to your phone. So but all these ideas of having all that information and doing all the communication from your wrist, 1960.
Yeah.
It takes a while. It takes a while before we basically have it in real life. But the nice thing about this kind of industry is that your smartphone is not improving anymore. Every next version of the smartphone is incrementally better.
Yeah.
These things are fundamentally better. Every year they are much better, they're much thinner, they have much more functions. Android now came with a special Android wearable version, which basically uses very little battery and is completely made for these kinds of screens.
Okay.
So in the next 2 or 3 years, you see beautiful models. Like Motorola has a nice round screen.
Oh, wow.
And so it looks just like your old-fashioned phone. So a lot of people will like that. It's beautiful, round, very high resolution, and it fuses how old watches and new watches basically change.
Right.
We also need to have a way to identify who you are, and then to basically authorize all kinds of transactions. We will go to and. The phone will be the main wallet very soon. This year in Europe, on a number of places, your phone will be your phone. You will just basically be able to pay, small and big amounts. And I think that will also move to our watch in the next couple of years.
You heard it, folks. This thing right here, the smartwatch, is here to stay. You'll be wearing it for a while. So thank you, Vincent, for your knowledge. And thank you for watching Tech Attack. We'll see you next week in a new episode about virtual money. I'm TamTu. This is Vincent, and we'll see you next time at the next Tech Attack.